So, bias and random sampling. All right. Shh. Ready? I'm on page 55 again. You're just going to get homeworks out of this. That's it. And then if you do owe me a test or quiz from whatever, let's get it done. Or as Larry the Cable Guy says, get her done. Is that right? All right. So it says, consider a research study that wishes to test whether an experimental medication to reduce chronic migraine pain helps. Hey, this sounds like a good medication, especially for our migraine sufferers. Since the entire population of all migraine sufferers won't be able to participate in the study, we inherently need to find a small subset of this population. Will the results of our study be applicable to the population at large? We'll use a small group of people to produce the results. So let's talk about a couple of things just to go along with this. Medical research is huge. Agree? Okay. So why did COVID vaccine happen as fast as it did? Okay, so you know, I'm not picking any political sides, but how did this work? So normally, a research study will take place like this. You have drug development, okay, or before that we have a problem. Then you have drug development. Then we have testing. And then we have results from testing. Then it has to go before the FDA. And then it comes out to the consumer. Okay? And then after that, the the generics come out. Okay? So, you have a problem. This is something that the drug community sees. This might be something that they see happening over years. Then the drug companies start jumping on board. The drug company's very first question is, can we make money on this? I kid you not. Can we make money on this? Okay. So this takes anywhere from 3 to 15 years. Testing takes anywhere from 2 to 10 years. Results to do it takes about 1 year. Get your data in place. FDA can take up to 8 years. And we finally get the medicine. So now we get it. And then the generics is a whole different thing. Okay? So obviously we didn't have years to see this problem. We had months. Right? I know. It would have been good. Okay? So we had months in this thing. So this process took months. But what they also did was the federal government realizing, hey, this is bad. federal government said, we're going to bypass these guys, okay? And we're going to tell the drug companies, make it. And we pay. Okay? So we came up with the drug, and there was a lot of drug companies that made a drug, and they made enough vaccines for pretty much the entire population in the United States. There was hundreds of millions of vials of vaccine that did not get approved, but the drug companies that designed it were paid for each and every vial. Okay, so think of that. Like, if we would have realized this scam a couple of years ago, we all could have made the Cherry Creek vaccine. We could have gotten some fountain water out of one of our old water fountains, and mixed in some food coloring and put it into a bunch of vials, saying, "Hey, we got something here," and we all would have been retired, sitting on some beach somewhere. Okay, so the results happened with the population. Okay. So that's the long and the short of why COVID took so quickly to do. Basically, you think about when COVID hit to when the vaccines were coming out to the population. Yes, it was tiered to different levels of people first. You wanted the first responders and the ultra old who had bad stuff. They basically, once we realized we had this to that drug coming out, was 6 to 9 months. Okay? Now, did it work? Well, y'all, it's not half of you here in the classroom. We're not learning from online. We don't have masks anymore. So has it worked? Yeah. I think we could say probably it did work. Do we know the long-term results of this vaccine? No, we're still part of this. We're still part of this big experiment. Now, I just got my 4th shot the other day on Friday, so yeah, I got the booster now. I got my 2nd booster. Is that available for 50 and older? But it should be coming out soon for everybody. So I would say probably in the next 3 weeks to a month, it'll be released to the entire population. Yeah. But when did you get your first booster? So you should be fine. It should be good through July. So you should be fine. All right. So now let's get back to our page 55. Okay. The statistical issues surrounding this kind of sampling are significant and need to be explored first from an array of terms that we need to be defined. Okay, so we have a population of interest. With COVID, this was everybody worldwide. With this migraine is the group we want to study, the group of migraine people. Migraine having people. How do you even spell migraine? Migraine, I-N-E. Group of migraine sufferers. That's who we want to study. But this is a lot of people, agree? Okay, there's more people that suffer from migraines more frequently than we know of, okay? But it's a huge, huge, huge percentage of the population that has this. But we can't study everybody. So then we want to figure out a sample, which is a subset of the population we want to study. Okay. to go. First and last name is on that. Cool. And you have Miss Hamill, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. So it's important that our chosen sample be representative of the sample. We don't want people part of the study that are not migraine sufferers. Okay? So we wish to study whether the new model of a subset of the population. And why did we jump from migraine to car handles? I don't know. Oh, I think it's just another example. So another example is we wish to study whether a new model of car handles sharp turns well. We select 4 of these cars from Anderson Auto to test. I don't know who Anderson Auto is. The population is all the new model cars. The sample would be the 4 cars that we selected to sample. So it's important that our chosen sample be excuse me, a representative sample. The population can be diverse in many great ways, and everyone in the population of interest should have a fair chance to be in the sample. If this isn't the case, the sample is almost certainly not to be a representative sample. So then we have something called bias. Okay? This is the tendency of sampling method to over or under predict. Predict our parameter. Predict parameter. Okay. All right, so a couple things to know. This is the hardest thing. Bias takes place all the time. How can I take a random sample? How can I take a random sample of you all, if you're my population of interest? I mean, is this a random sample? I pick you, and I pick you, and I pick you, and you. Okay, there we go. We got a random sample. Okay, so why is that not a random sample? Yeah, I mean, I came to the first 4 people that I was closest to. That's convenient for me, isn't it? Okay? So we're going to do this. Remember your number that I tell you. You ready? Remember your number? 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 010, or 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 15, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay? Do you remember your number?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I just gave you a 2-digit number. Agree? I gave you a 2-digit number. So, if I do this, come up with our fancy dancy calculator. Let's let her load her on up. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's still thinking. All right. Let's see. Second catalog R.
Yeah. The reason I moved is because he kept turning around and
All right. Whoops. Hey, what was my highest number? 25, thank you. All right. So, random integer, no repeating. So, this is not going to allow any of my numbers to repeat. If you are 01 through 09, you'll get a single digit number. And then if you're a double digit number. So if I hit this, so it looks like my group picked, raise your hand if you're number 10, number 19, number 1, and number 8. Raise your hand if you're number 1. 01. Right. All right, keep your hands up. Look around. Hands up, those who we picked. Is that a good random sample?
Yeah.
Okay, hey, let's do it again. Raise your hand if you're 25, 5, 20, or 24. Good random sample?
No.
I don't know. We got the 24, 25 over there. And the 20. Do it again. Raise your hand. Oh, we don't have anyone who's 0. We don't have anyone who's 0. 25, 7, 3, or 1. Okay. Don't have a 0. Don't have a 0. 5, 25, 18, 7. Okay.
525, yeah.
Well, I think that's, yeah, I mean, statistically, put your hands down, thanks. Yeah, it is kind of weird that we keep picking 25. I don't know why. It also keeps picking those zeros in there, so is our random sampling on the calculator trustworthy? I don't know. I mean, I could do this. I could keep doing this a whole bunch of times. Let's just kind of fade through it a bunch of times. All right. Okay. So does the calculator know you?
They know 25.
It seems to know 25 pretty well. Yeah. So, just kind of funny. All right. So I'm going to stop there for today. Sorry, I don't have homework.
Oh.